What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, well, it was yesterday or the day before that I showed you the Agumon from EX01, and I told you there was a page of a magazine that actually showed us the Greymon, MetalGreymon, and Wargreymon that were going to accompany it, but I also told you that that page of the magazine was obstructed and we couldn't actually see what they did, and I told you at some point in the future we would find out what they did, and when we did I'd share it with you. Well, turns out we didn't have to wait very long at all. We know what those cards do. Shout out to the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming for providing our translation. Those dudes are awesome. Although it seems the translations have also been given out by DTCG Review, and I don't mean to sound repetitive here, but those dudes are awesome as well. So what have we got then? Well, let's start off with a bit of the old Greymon here. We've got a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power, which is all pretty standard for a level 4. That's about what we would expect. But there is a skill here, whereby when you are attacking once during your turn, you may play a 3 cost or lower Yagami Taichi from your hand without paying its cost. Or Taikamiya as it would be looking at the English scans of the cards. Oh, well that's very good indeed. The thing is, it's alright. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. You see, there are a bunch of these that are too much. So the BT1 Taikamiya gives your red Digimon with 4 or more Digivolution sources, security attack +1. That's a 4 cost, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't going to work. And to be fair, in terms of red, that's the only one that won't work, which is quite nice. The black Taikamiya from BT2 that gives your black Digimon an extra 1,000 power also will unfortunately not work. Sad times, ladies and gentlemen, but we do what we can. The thing is, yesterday I told you there was a particular Taikamiya that we might want to use with these kind of cards. And this one works very nicely indeed. Now I'm referring to the Taikamiya from BT6, the one that when you move a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name from the breeding area to the battle area, lets you gain a memory and draw a card, and it also lets you Digivolve an Agumon straight into an Agumon Bond of Bravery, though you do have to trash the top 2 cards of your security stack, and if you've got any cards in your security stack after doing this, you will unfortunately lose it at the end of your turn. But it's still a phenomenal card that's going to see a whole... I mean, it's already seeing play, but it's going to see a whole bunch more play, and it just so happens to be 3 cost or less. It's exactly 3 cost. But this is every time you attack. And that's what's so gosh darn good about this. It could be the Taikamiya, the 2 cost from the starter deck, that gives all of your Digimon an extra 1,000 power. That seems like it could be pretty gosh darn good. I'm sticking incidentally with the red tie here. There are tie in other colours, but we're going to stick with the red ones for now. So you basically got those couple of options. The one from BT6, the one from the starter deck. And that sounds pretty good to me. There are other options in blue, yellow, and black that can be played for free here. So my point is, this is cool. But remember, as with all of these things, it's not just for now. At any point in the future, a new time might be released, and as long as it's 3 cost or lower, you can play it for free. And again, this is an attacking skill. And that's the point here. It means that when you Digivolve from this, every time you attack, you can play one for free. I like this a lot. Moving up to our level 5 MetalGreymon, we've got a 7 cost to play normally, we've got a 3 cost to Digivolve, and 7,000 power. All fairly standard, but we have dual evolution. And the colours are still a little bit wonky, but it looks like we've got Digivolution from black or red. And to be fair, given that Taikamiya tends to, and I know popped up in blue and yellow as well, but tends to be black and red primarily, I'm going to say it's that one. If I'm wrong, please do drop a correction in the comment section. But we have an inheritable and a non-inheritable skill here. The non-inheritable skill, when you are attacking, when this Digimon attacks a Digimon, choose one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 power or less, and delete it. That's awesome. Now, you have got to be attacking with this. And you've got 7,000 power. If you attack the stack randomly, you will expect to be deleted by basically a level 5, level 6, or level 7. The average level 5 has 7,000 power. You might survive, but you shouldn't rely on surviving, I think is fair. So really, I think the best use for this is you attack a Digimon, delete it, and then also delete one of your opponent's other Digimon that's got 4,000 power or less. Deleting 2 Digimon in one attack? Sounds good to me. As for the inheritable skill, if this Digimon has Machine or Dragon Man type, this Digimon gains Piercing. Oh. Well, I suppose at this stage we should look at the machines, and I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of machines. Now, the thing is, this is a red Digimon, and it can Digivolve from black, but it is not a black Digimon. It is a red Digimon, so you can basically Digivolve it into a red Digimon. So, essentially, you've got Breakdramon here, which has Piercing. So I don't think Breakdramon's going to be the best use for this, if I'm honest with you, because you've already got Piercing. And in terms of red Digimon with Machine in their type, I'm afraid that's it. There are a bunch of black Digimon you can use, but as I've said, this can Digivolve from red or black, but it is a red Digimon, and the skill lets you delete a 4,000 power Digimon. It's not one of those skills that makes it a black Digimon. As for Dragon Man, I mean, look, if you didn't know, you'd be able to guess it pretty easily, right? It's Wargreymon. Now, there's also a couple of others, but again, they're not red, so we're not worrying about them today. It's Wargreymon. So, if you want to Digivolve into a Wargreymon, and we've got the really nice one from BT1, gives you security attack +1 when you Digivolve, and ignores security effects of option cards. Or we've got the one from the starter deck that gives you security attack +1 for every 2 Digivolution sources you have. And incidentally, we've also got the new one, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. All of those will work very nicely indeed. And I think that's where we've got to be going here, because again, you can give Breakdramon Piercing, but Breakdramon already has Piercing, so maybe not the best use of your time. So when we get up into Wargreymon, then we've got 12 cost to play normally, 4 cost to Digivolve, 12,000 power, which is one of these that's always one more than we'd expect. We expect for an average level 6 to be 11, 3, 11. We got 12, 4, 12. It better be good. Now, you've got Advance, and that is awesome. Advance is great, Advance is wonderful, Advance is brilliant. Advance basically means that you can Digivolve an attack, even if that Digivolution would put the turnover to your opponent. I mean, it still does, incidentally. It does put the turnover to your opponent, but not before you've actually had the opportunity to attack with Wargreymon, which is clearly an awesome thing. That alone makes it pretty good. I mean, if we look at Advance, we've got a couple of red Digimon that will do it. Shoutmon DX is the level 6 that comes to mind here. Although Zgreymon does have it and is a level 6, so they're the kind of 2 we've got so far. And to be fair, this is the same Digivolution cost as Shoutmon DX, though Shoutmon can Digivolve for 2 if you Digivolve from a level 6, and has the same power. So as much as I like having Advance on a red level 6 with 12,000 power, we've already got that on Shoutmon DX. So we're going to need another reason to play this card. Well, when you are attacking, when this Digimon attacks the player, or security stack, and you control a tamer, which as we mentioned with the Greymon you really should at this stage, choose one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker and delete it. Oh. Yeah, that makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. That makes a big difference. Shoutmon DX is quite nice because you get to put extra Digimon down as Digivolution cards, build up combos, etc. But here, you get to delete a blocker, and blockers are super annoying. Plus, let's say your opponent only has one blocker. You go to attack, they go to block, you delete the blocker, and then the attack goes through. So this is why we then elevated above Shoutmon DX. It's not just that you're very powerful and get to attack when you Digivolve, which incidentally is a game-winning huge play. It is also the fact that if your opponent only has one blocker, they ain't blocking you. And even if they've got more than one blocker, you're still taking out a blocker. And you've got 12,000 power, so the chances are, I mean, there are exceptions of course, but the chances are their blocker isn't going to block you without going down themselves. So it seems like the worst case scenario is that you've basically got 2 blockers going down when you attack. That sounds alright by me, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds alright by me. So let's go ahead and give this whole thing between 4 and 5 Wassies, and honestly, I might be being a bit misery. MetalGreymon, I like it, I don't love it, but Greymon being able to play Tamers for free, and then Wargreymon being able to advance while taking out blockers, that seems like a lot of fun to me. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wassie Plays.